Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing. And I know that seems strange to a lot of people.
Live, a judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and trafficking case.
Lol, Sean Diddy Combs, one of hip-hop's biggest icons, just got denied bail for the third time. When I tell you this legal drama is getting more intense by the minute, the judge, Arun Subban, basically said, no amount of money in the world can guarantee public safety if we let this man out. The details coming out of this ruling are painting such a dark picture of the former Bad Boy Records founder. It's like watching an empire crumble in real time.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily, so I guess right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
Let's be real for a second. This isn't just any old legal battle. We're watching one of the most traumatic court cases in recent memory unfold right before our eyes. And honey, the stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about Diddy's freedom and his entire empire. Now, when I tell you his latest bid for bail was BOLD, his legal team came through with a $50 million bail package. You heard that right, $50 million. They really thought they did something, offering 24/7 private security and promising no internet or phone access. They were trying to convince everyone that Diddy wouldn't be a danger to society or try to flee. But chilly, the court wasn't buying what they were selling, and Judge Subban had some thoughts.
No, I'm not surprised by the ruling because, as she cited in her order, there are very serious allegations about the danger that he potentially poses to other witnesses and the public at large. There are allegations that he has, been violent with others. He's also attempted to allegedly intimidate other witnesses and still contact witnesses while incarcerated.
The judge looked at 4 key things: the nature of these charges, which are serious; the weight of evidence against Diddy, which is heavy; his personal history, which is, well, and whether letting him out would put the community at risk. And baby, it wasn't looking good for Diddy on any front. We're talking charges that'll make your hair stand on end: racketeering, coercion, and orchestrating years of systematic harm. The prosecutors are saying he used his money, power, and connections to create this environment where he could do whatever he wanted without consequences.
Monitoring another push to free Sean Diddy Combs tonight, with his legal team citing new evidence in an updated bail proposal. The music mogul agreeing to around-the-clock security and cutting out contact with basically anyone but his legal team to get out of jail ahead of his trial scheduled for May of next year for charges he allegedly coerced and abused women for years.
Now let me tell you about one of the most shocking pieces of evidence that had the prosecutors and the judge shook. There's this video from 2016 that's become infamous, showing Diddy in a Los Angeles hotel hallway acting in a way that's making everyone's skin crawl. Picture this. He's wearing nothing but a towel, confronting Cassandra Ventura, you know her as Cassie, and what happens next is absolutely horrifying. The footage allegedly shows him dragging her to the ground, kicking her, and forcibly pulling her back to their hotel room. The prosecutors are saying this isn't just some one-time thing, it's part of a whole pattern of controlling behavior.
Is everybody familiar with the old Houdini? So what Diddy's lawyers are trying to do is pull a Houdini. They're trying to say that the evidence that they have is different. Well, it's not different. The video that the entire world has seen is not going to go away. The fact that he had parties that were freak-offs is not going away. So it's just a question of whether or not.
And the text messages that came after this incident, child, they will break your heart. These messages are now part of the court record, and they tell a story that's absolutely chilling. Cassie sent him messages describing her injuries. I have a black eye and a swollen lip. You're sick for thinking this is okay. Another one talks about crazy bruising that wouldn't go away. Between the video and these messages, even Diddy's biggest supporters are finding it hard to defend him. But wait, because this gets even messier. While he's been sitting in the Metropolitan Detention Center, prosecutors say Diddy's been breaking all kinds of rules. They caught him using other inmates' phone access codes to make unauthorized calls, using some private messaging service to dodge monitoring, and get this, They say he was trying to influence witnesses and potential jurors.
That's it. If it is privilege, of course they won't. But if it really is what the prosecution says, that has nothing to do with the case, or even worse, it's actually evidence of witness tampering, because we all know the attorney-client privilege, there's a crime fraud exception. You can't use your lawyer to perpetuate a future or continuing fraud or crime. So if the documents are what the government says they are, they're going to get them again. And again, it's just going to be a matter of days, because I don't expect.
Now, let me tell you about this bizarre social media campaign they cooked up for his birthday. His family posted this video of his children celebrating his birthday while he listened in from jail. Sounds sweet, right? Wrong! Prosecutors say this whole thing was orchestrated to manipulate public opinion and potential jurors. They even caught Diddy on a phone call saying, "I just need one," basically admitting he was hoping to influence at least one juror. The audacity.
So that, they probably didn't see these notes, and they never will.
But if you're Diddy, don't you want your notes back?
Yeah.
If you've spent so many hours gathering evidence for your side or, strategy or whatever, for me, I'd be like, oh no, please don't destroy, please return.
And honey, that's not even the half of it. They caught him communicating with a key witness after they testified to the grand jury. When the judge pressed for explanations about these messages, some of which mysteriously disappeared, Diddy's team was stumbling over their words. This behavior had Judge Superman so concerned about witness tampering that he wasn't having any of it when it came to bail. Now, you'd think Diddy's legal team would be sweating, but they came through with this elaborate plan. His attorneys, Mark Agnifilo and Alexander Shapiro, tried to argue that everyone's making mountains out of molehills. They even proposed this ultra-luxe house arrest situation. Picture Diddy confined to a fancy 3-bedroom apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side, with private security watching his every move. No phone, no internet, just his lawyers and family allowed to visit.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in the sexual conduct and being in those spaces, consuming and things of that nature.
But child, the judge saw right through that plan. The prosecutors made this brilliant point. They said letting Diddy pay for private security would basically be like letting him create his own private jail. Can you imagine? They were like, we can't have rich people buying their way out of detention. And the judge was nodding along, pointing out that these security guards would ultimately be answering to Diddy's checks, not the court.
It sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
Now let me spill the tea about these mysterious notes they found in Diddy's jail cell. During what was supposed to be a routine contraband sweep, they discovered these writings that had everyone's jaws on the floor. We're talking about alleged instructions to dig up dirt on people connected to his case. His lawyers tried to play it off like these were protected by attorney-client privilege, but chilly, the inconsistencies in their story had the judge giving them major side-eye.
Witnesses.
So I think that the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York. I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is?
And when Diddy's team tried to compare his situation to Mike Jeff, an 80-something-year-old executive who got bail in a similar case, the prosecutors shut that down real quick. They were like, hold up, Jeff isn't accused of running a violent criminal enterprise or trying to obstruct justice. Plus, they pointed out that being in his 80s makes him way less likely to cause trouble. The judge wasn't about to let Diddy use that comparison.
So my defense is very well established. I interviewed myself the different men who were being brought sort of into Mr. Combs and this person's intimate situation. I've flown around the country. I've interviewed a large number of them. There's not the slightest inkling, according to the interviews that I've done, of anything that's coercive, non-consensual.
Chile, with bail denied, Diddy's now facing the reality of preparing for his trial from behind bars. His legal team is talking about appealing, but let's be real, those chances are looking slimmer than a runway model. Meanwhile, the accusations keep piling up faster than designer clothes in Diddy's closet, with new lawsuits dropping almost every week. And just when you thought you'd heard it all, let me tell you about these infamous jailhouse notes that have everyone talking. We're not talking about some simple grocery list or reminder to call mama. These were pages of handwritten instructions that had the whole courtroom gasping.
Sean Diddy Combs was denied bail for the third time, a federal judge saying that the government had proven by clear and convincing evidence that there were no conditions of release that would ensure the safety of the community.
During what was supposed to be a routine sweep of Diddy's cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center, guards found these notes that had everyone's wig shifting. According to prosecutors, they found instructions about digging up dirt on 2 of his accusers. Can you believe the nerve? They say he even had notes telling family members to find everything on specific people linked to his case. Some notes allegedly mentioned paying off witnesses, though Diddy's team is screaming from the rooftops that it's all lies.
The defense denying these claims and is pushing for his release under strict conditions, including a $50 million bond and 24/7 monitoring at a secured Manhattan apartment. There will be a hearing today where both sides will have a chance to clarify exactly how Combs has been connecting with the world outside his jail cell.
Now you'd think finding these notes would be game over, right? Wrong. Diddy's legal team came through swinging like it was a championship fight. They're saying these notes were protected by attorney-client privilege and should have never been touched. They had the audacity to accuse the Bureau of Prisons and prosecutors of violating Diddy's constitutional rights.
So there's a few things going on. First is the privilege issue. The judge will decide whether the documents are privileged or not. If they're not, they're going to go to the government. If the documents are not only not privileged, but they're evidence of witness tampering, then a few things can happen, all of which are bad for Sean Diddy Combs. First, of course, he could face obstruction of justice charges in a superseding indictment.
At this emergency hearing, the judge tried to play it cool and ordered prosecutors to destroy their copies of these notes. But, and this is a big but, they're keeping the originals under court supervision while everyone argues about whether they can be used as evidence. The mere existence of these notes has cast a shadow darker than Diddy's legal future. Let's be real for a minute. If you're sitting on that jury and you hear about someone writing notes to dig up dirt on their accusers, what are you gonna think? It's not exactly screaming innocent man behavior. And while Diddy's team is out here claiming everything's been taken out of context, the damage to his image is already...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
And speaking of damage control, remember that birthday video drama I mentioned? Chile, prosecutors are saying it wasn't just some sweet family moment. It was a calculated scheme to influence public opinion. They're claiming Diddy was tracking the video's performance like it was one of his hit singles, even discussing strategies to make it go viral. When he said, "I just need one,"